you doing? Oh, I sort of have a headache, and we're gonna start this off slow and sort of get into the swing of things. I don't think anything super exciting is happening in this campaign. There's an HQ we can do at some point, but we don't have to do it now. We're probably gonna do the jailbreak and then load out an HQ. Why don't I have a smash and grab going if I'm doing that? I don't know what's going on. Thanks for the 2-bits terrible name. Yes, sir, Skidmore. Hi, JoINrbs and chat, I guess. You sound so depressed by chat. We have a big supply drop to pick up. I guess we just loaded out this smash and grab. I don't see anything wrong with what we're doing right now. We're just gonna slowly accumulate intel. Expand toward the black site. Probably beat this HQ sometime soon, but we don't want to do it until the region stops generating really good missions for us, which it's doing a very good job of at the moment. And eventually we'll play all of the good stuff. Thanks for the 17 gap is beta. Hey, Bajuvie, how you doing? Random guy somewhere, Filthy and I have been having some technical issues. Well, he has been having some technical issues with his XCOM 2, which I sort of led him into, so I feel sort of bad about that. Just like a mod conflict that is difficult to fix. So until that gets fixed, yeah. It's unfortunate. Why is this an extremely light strength 3 mission? That doesn't, it's not how this game works. As far as I know, I'm pretty sure that seemed wrong. I wonder if a Cyoperative would ever use suppression, like ever. Thanks for the 51 Kappa's beta. I remember back at the start of the mission, really wishing I could kill those civilians. Wait, you did it twice? Oh my god. That's too many bits. I have to add all of those up at some point. I'm not prepared for that much math. I did the math on how many extra donations there are that are directly to me that I will be sending to the International Medical Corps, and we're at about 230. So we're very, very close to breaking the goal. Another 7. Give him a 35 for me. Okay, 36 through 2 armor? What the fuck? What the fuck? I may be rounding the bit totals a little bit, guys. I'm rounding up. But I'm definitely not, like, counting every cent exactly. Yeah, hopefully he will have them fixed by tomorrow and we'll be able to play more of it tomorrow, random guy. I really want to do a network tower and HQ with him. Bajuvie had a question for me and it didn't show up in my Twitch chat, but it did show up for my bot. That is weird. I guess I'm gonna refresh my Twitch chat. Alright, there it is. Steve, I have a question that I couldn't find the answer to, and I lost all my save files, so I don't have any old games to test it. If you have AP rounds and Shredder perk on an agent, how did they stack? AP goes first. I'm pretty sure. Thanks to 127 Quakeasms beta. Hey, Isord. Weekends are a good time to catch me. A lot of people who watch on YouTube manage to catch the show on weekends every now and then as well. It is for a good cause, beta. The International Medical Corps. I'm a fan. I have hit points for my rebels. So we saw 2 pods, 1 here, 1 outside. Yeah, there are guys. Get that. Gotta go grab him and head to evac. Let's turn cheat engine on. Speed the game up. I really wish they called it something other than cheat engine. I suppose probably there are people who do want the program that they're using to be called cheat engine. But just not me. Every time that I say that I'm using cheat engine, I feel like I have to like explain and defend myself. Like a small intel cache, 100%.
Okay. That's affirmative. Confirmed.
Old familiar XCOM.
Headed there now.
Moving to position.
On the move.
I'm on the move. Orders confirmed. On the move. Attempting infiltration.
You just call me a derp? Smurf? You didn't do that, did you? Hasso! Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Moldy Steak, thank you as well for the follow.
Good to go.
I'm alright with not playing PUBG today, Smurf.
Closing on target position now.
Alright, we have a big muton, a medium snake, a tiny drone. I think I'll just start fighting. Where are my red screens? Do I not have red screen? How would I tell? Terrible name. Terrible name has red screens. Yes, yes. Alright, so pod should move toward us when we open up here.
Rolling.
Let me make sure I actually need to do that. No, I don't. Yeah, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I want the drone to come forward.
Heading there now.
Do I? I'm not sure what I want here. Like, the plan is to hack the drone, but I don't want to pull the pod that's over here. And to kill these guys, but I'd sort of like to have... Oh, okay, that. Sort of like to have the ability to use 2 abilities on my psi operatives when I'm fighting all those guys.
Position.
I think I'll wait a turn. There's a lot of follow blazing them. Blazeman. Blazyman. Lazy man.
Target position now.
MSK Nerdstar. Did I get all you guys?
Covering now.
Overwatch. Eyes on the prize. Roger. I've got my eyes on it.
Everybody's hitting the follow button right now.
Overwatch.
Hey, Ronar. I'm sure that it will work today, Ronar. Sorry, I was like trying to systems check with Ronar, but then I just started my stream instead. I'm sure it will work. So I really wanted to be able to null launch too. Seemed like a fun way to start things off. Oh, I have domination as well.
Moving out.
Alright, let's start with the domination. I wish there were a way to reduce will.
Don't resist
Like
me.
you do with reducing hack defense on drones.
They're onto us.
Vita, I don't even know how many bits that was, so I'm not going to thank you for them. Salt. PJ Salt alert. That was good. This will be good. Okay. I mean, if I manage to lose this mission from here, I don't know. It should be pretty hard to manage to lose the mission from here. Yeah, I had the... What's it called? Oh, I don't remember what it's called. The tower hack with your juice as well. But I had one of those missions earlier in the campaign, Bobo. How's Terrible Name not my favorite soldier? You might be. You're not giving yourself, like, the chance for me to say you are. You're just assuming the negative.
Negative damage.
Heading out.
Apparently this guy takes 2 turns to kill. That's not super surprising. I wonder if we'd get sectoid corpses from doing the HQ. That might be a reason to force the HQ earlier than we'd otherwise want to play it.
Are you unwell? Come on, focus.
It's a reasonable end month for Long War 2 campaign, in my opinion. Most of mine end, like realistically, they end late November or early December or something, but then I just spend a lot of time training up my soldiers more because I'm not actually being forced to launch the final mission. So I want to give them extra time to get as good as they can. Reinforcements are already over halfway here.
Moving out.
Seems worth noting. I think that might have been 2 different pods. Soldiers have Void Rift yet? No, I had the option to train it on one of my soldiers, but I decided I wanted to go for Bastion first. I have 1 Bastion soldier, and then Void Rift is probably next on him. Oh yeah, that was like gonna be my cue for the HQ. Except that... why bother?
Moving. Moving to Overwatch.
Got it covered.
Why bother actually doing the HQ when we're in, you know, great shape already and getting good missions out of the region?
Heading to that location.
Yeah. Our specialists are going to get to mind control 2 robots each as well, Ronar. I think we can get up to 14 on Waterworld.
The Advent Captain nearby would make an ideal target for
Advent
the
Captain.
Skulljack.
Tell me more.
Affirmative.
Please, Tygan, I need to know.
On the move. Affirmative.
Wanted to hack that other robot. We would need to wait an extra turn. We'll see if they walk into us.
Already there.
Thanks to follow, Ruben. Yeah, Akatama. don't know if it's actually true that you want to avoid countering the dark events that buff the enemies with Psi. I mean, you don't always have the enemies mind controlled. Ends up been doing some pretty nice Psi attack dodging this mission. Oh, how many civilians did I just kill? 0? That's fortunate. Not sure if Caitlin is playing footsie with me under the desk or what's going on exactly.
Away.
How was PUBG night? It was good. I enjoy playing PUBG with those guys. I would love to be better at the game than I am.
Dan, it has to be Dan to see this.
But I do feel like I'm improving pretty quickly when I play with them all. And it's okay to just play a game that you're not good at sometimes as well. So... Poison Spit is sort of an option. Oh, I have Clutch Shot. Oh, yeah. The problem with this is I have to go here, right? That doesn't actually give vision. I'm getting really close right now to just doing this to him. Or we could, let's go here, kill, and command Terrible Name back into cover. I think that's fine.
The mind is willing. You can't handle me. Got something over here? Let's move already. Scanning.
I believe the drone's about to die, unfortunately. Max Skeps! What the fuck? Max Scabby, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. That was certainly interesting. So I guess the drone gets a chance to detect before it dies. Alright, today I learned. Believe the enemy is under the false impression that that is their robot. They've been woefully misinformed. Psyamps do cost cores, but they cost sectoid corpses, and that's the actual bottleneck, so I don't really have to like stockpile cores. Need to make sure I have a couple. Is Psyrush viable? Well, this campaign's going to very easily beat Legend Ironman with it looks like. Take that as you will.
What's over there? Step back.
I don't know if very easy is maybe pushing it. This campaign hasn't been the easiest campaign that I've ever played.
Check it before you get something heavier than it looks.
Feeling all right? I didn't get it.
I like the snake. The snake's done some good work for me this mission. Hasn't even gotten shot at yet. Much more pleasant than when it's shooting at me, that's for sure.
Looks like they called in some friends.
Okay, first lot of reinforcements are already showing up. Gotta get in that door, hack with the specialist. I'm gonna use Oscar Mike this turn, I think. Ooh. No, I'm not. I'm gonna skull mine.
Moving to access.
I just unlocked an achievement. I already have a small intel cache from a tower, so I'm gonna go for the large intel cache, even though I risk taking a bit of damage. Nice! Small intel caches don't stack. You can only get one per mission for whatever reason.
Enemy eliminated. We're in.
I think I just got a Steam achievement for skull mining every type of Advent
Got your stuff here.
enemy.
Moving to Overwatch. On my way.
What was the easiest Long War campaign I played? The campaign where I did 0% supply raids. Those have been nerfed at this point, though. But even just the last campaign I played, where I just went lasers, exo. The strategic conditions were a little bit different, in fairness, but in general, I would say that it was much easier than this campaign. This campaign was very scary in April, May, and like the first half of June.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Do they attack you, Ronar? I've done the thing where I skull mine a dude and then he survives, but I've never like let him take a turn. I've always been sort of curious what happens if you let them take a turn there. Like the snakes sort of let me down there. They've done more damage than that, surely.
You're losing control.
Yeah, I don't
Come on,
mark you.
focus.
Did it like animate or did it just happen?
My weapon.
Something weird's happened to his cover there. Oh well, no big deal. So, the Psi Operatives and their merry band of Advent accomplices seem to have conquered the mission.
Heading out.
Oh wait, I'm blocking the door. In retrospect, this may not have been the best thing to do. I'm gonna grab watch list here since I've already gotten a small intel cache. And I actually got all 3 intel rewards in the same mission. That's the first time I've ever done that. I got small intel, large intel, and watch list. So this mission's probably worth something like 60, at least 60 intel. It depends which region watch list is going to apply to a little bit. Yeah, that guy's standing in front of the door. That's not where he should be standing. All right.
Jan 4.
Somebody remind me to restart my computer tonight. Should do that before it actually explodes. Would I recommend mags into Sai? I think that if you're not rushing Sai Akatama, there's no reason to do it.
Location confirmed.
I think that the way that Long War 2 works right now, if you understand how late game works and like properly identify the problems that you're going to face and how you're going to beat them, is that like the game is challenging March through May, and you can control a little bit how challenging it is based on how hard you want to push on the strategic layer, taking, you know, tougher and tougher missions. But then once your squad starts to level up, any focus strategy seems like it works pretty well to me. And I think that building Psi operatives like halfway through the game is the absolute opposite of a focus strategy, basically. That just spreads your strength out instead of focusing it. So I would recommend against. The top 5 things I believe are a must for Legend Ironman. I sort of just answered that question. Oh yeah, you can't slash mind control dudes. Nor can you thingamajig them, but you can null launch them. So, top 5 things for a Legend Ironman campaign. I think science is generally very important, although in this campaign I've sort of done without it. But I think generally the most important thing is to be able to kill the enemies as they show up and kill them fast enough to deal with the timers on missions. So aggressive perks, aggressive technologies like weapon techs. I think that that's generally very important in a Legend Ironman campaign. This campaign I'm doing something gimmicky and sort of sidestepping that, but it's doing the same thing, right? Instead of killing stuff, I'm mind controlling it. It all sort of works out the same in the end. So that's number 1. Number 2, I think you have to have a very solid understanding of what goes on the strategic layer. Okay, I think you can win without that. I certainly have in the past not known nearly as much as I do now about what's happening on the strategic layer and still being able to win campaigns. But I think it certainly helps a lot, and as the game gets harder with balance adjustments, it becomes more and more useful. It's 2 things. It's thing number 3. Weapons, know the strategic layer. No, that's pretty much it. I think, okay, how about this? This is part of knowing the strategic layer. Getting havens which make you good missions is specifically very important in the strategic layer. And I think there's a good amount of sort of difficult to understand knowledge that goes into getting that going. Understanding how Advent Legions are going to move around the map, understanding that liberating a haven actually does an awful lot for your other havens, because liberating a haven forces Advent Legions to reinforce all of the areas on the map a little bit more. So they spend a lot of time doing that and not coming to your havens. Understanding how to recruit a haven up to 13 rebels. You gotta like recognize if you can get them there with jailbreaks or if you're just on recruit with them. And you have to be planning ahead enough to always have a haven that's generating good missions for you. You don't want to... You don't want to like get to a point where you're recruiting up 3 havens at once, but none of them are actually doing anything yet. Three things. I've successfully said 3 things. Did you guys know that, like, just in terms of psychology, if you try to list things about a thing, you are left with the impression that there is less to it than there actually is, because the human brain is bad at listing things. Thanks for the follow, Marley. So if you're ever like thinking about whether or not to stay at a job or stay in a relationship or something, and your method is to list things that you like about it, you're always going to like basically come up short on how much you actually value it, just because you're really bad at listing things. Thing number 4. Okay, here's a good thing. Understanding the shape of the barracks in the campaign is important, I think. So you start out with a small barracks of rookies, right? In mid-game, you can bloat the barracks a little bit. You can like buy laser weapons or whatever you're doing to kill stuff for cheap. Get up to like 30 soldiers, even more than that if you want. But I think it's okay. Yeah, from mid-game, if you have 30 soldiers, you can just end the game with that many soldiers, I think. But it is probably worth realizing that you don't need 30 soldiers at the end of the campaign. You only need a team of 12 to beat the Golden Path missions and win. So if the Golden Path missions get harder and harder, like they get balanced upward, recognizing that it's about like making an elite team of 12 to actually beat the game, like that's the win condition. You go on hard missions with, 8 to 12 soldiers, and using your wide barracks of 30 to enable you to do that, I think is important. 4. We did 4. Being willing to learn, not getting frustrated, recognizing when something's your fault, and recognizing what you can do to fix it. Stuff like that's probably important. Thanks for that follow, volleyball. Volleyball goalkeeper. Do they have goalkeepers in volleyball? Hold on. Doesn't say that they do. I don't know what that means. Alright, well, we beat that mission very easily. Terrible name seems not to actually be training Nolans. What's going on? Alright, cool. If I remember right, there was actually an Intel Dark event. It's already worn off. So we should be getting good missions pretty soon. The Smash and Grab is already on the way. We'll find another one soon enough. We're up to 12 rebels in Western Europe. We'll get to 13th from the Unit Visor recruiting at some point. Really screwed up Eastern Europe. Chile can probably think about just flipping to recruit. Getting missions out of New Brazil and Western Europe right now, which is fine. There's plenty of missions. Yeah, Varen, how you doing? Oh, I went over here. Whoops. Grab another scientist. Grab another research station. I don't need my AWC scientist. Our wounds are basically non-existent at this point. Gets us a fully staffed lab. That should be enough research for the campaign, right? Powered armor's an 8. And then we can start thinking about the shadow chamber and shadow chamber things. We have to do the black site. Probably have to research radio. Okay, so we'll do radio research next. I wonder which haven is cheap. 201. This one's cheap? It's not a very useful one to have made cheaper. Unless we have to go to West Africa, I guess. Which we might. Okay, cool. Should just scan in New Brazil. I do want supply again this month. There's nothing I can contact right now. Basically nothing I can do with this intel. Alright, cool. Yeah, sure. Number 5 is understanding what you actually need to do to win, which is contact like 600 or so intel worth of regions while spending 1,500 or so supply on radio relays. So you want to make sure that your economy is in that state and recognize when you're at a point where you can generate that much intel. Not that you have to win early. I think generally it makes things less painful if you do. My experience has been that fighting against M3 enemies is just not a thing that you need to expose yourself to. Like, it's just, your life is just easier if you don't do that to yourself. We're waiting on quick draw training and then sending a team. Go generate ourselves some intel. This was a fairly lengthy infiltration timer, so I think I'll send 4 soldiers and we'll work out what we're doing with the AWC after we let out the team. I'm going to be playing War of the Chosen when it hits for sure, Space Cowboy. At least for, you know, at least for a campaign or two. Shouldn't be anywhere near as long a campaign as Long War II is, so I don't expect it to take that long. And then we'll see if it's like replayable and popular and fun, or if I come back here, or what exactly I'm gonna do. Okay, I like this loadout. Ballistic SMGs all around. And good ground, hard target, cool. We do have to blow up a relay at some point in this mission. I think that'll be fine though. We'll just like mind control something that actually has a gun, or we'll kill it with ballistic SMGs. They do a surprising amount of damage. War of the Chosen has second wave options. War of the Chosen has the like challenge mode. I don't know if that's gonna be like a really big thing. I don't know if I'm gonna like wake up every morning and play the challenge mode mission and then like upload my strategy to YouTube and everyone's gonna love it. Sounds like painful and unenjoyable to me, so I'm probably not going to do it, but who could really say? End charity week with an auction for choosing the hero name. God. Oh, I need to. Somebody was gonna share game keys with me to auction off, and I just like forgot. Whoops. Give me a second to see if I can pick up that message chain. Yeah. Auctioning off the... I mean, I don't 100% know what that means, Smurf. Auction for choosing the hero name. Auctioning that off sounds like a good idea. I don't know how into an auction you guys will get. Will you guys get into an auction? Auction's gonna be pretty lame if like only one person bids. I'm sure you will. Okay, we'll do something like that. That sounds like fun. Jervis Cotton Valley has advanced far enough in the ranks of XCOM to be offered Oscar Mike training. Congratulations, Jervis. And is my sharpshooter on a mission? Get wounded? Sharpshooter got wounded. That's great. Okay. Lib 2 here. We could liberate Western Europe. I don't think it would be super difficult. This is actually... that's not something I'm quite going to attempt, but if we had a slightly better timer on it, probably would have. Thanks for that follow, Kylian. Scilab is empty. I feel very uncomfortable when my Scilab is empty. Quick draw on terrible name. And fire is ready to be trained on Sephirim. That's very good. Am I going to play the full narrative on, or am I going to jump into second wave stuff? I'm going to play just the straightforward thing first. Flex Rumble Crunch is one of my favorites too. War Crimes. Who here likes Bradford? Be careful, guys. Be careful not to say that you like Bradford too loudly, or accidents might happen to you. Might have to get Bress involved.